Are you serious? Yes, Tolley!
Lads, welcome back to St Neots Town TV. Good win today, good performance, 2-0 at home to Bideford. Gary, what do you make of that one?
Pleased with today's result, especially on the back of Wednesday's game. It keeps our recent home record intact, which is important, and the way in which we won it was convincing. It was never in doubt, some terrific performances, overall a great team performance.
It was a terrific team performance today, and I felt it was a little bit of a slow start from both sides, to be honest, but I did think Bideford seemed to camp in our half a little bit in that first half, and for the first sort of 20 minutes we just seemed to edge our way into the game slowly, but it was fairly even to start with. What do you make of that, Zema?
I would agree to a certain extent. I think what you've got to look at is that we've had to make a lot of changes. I think if you look at the team sheet, there's a lot of players playing out of position there, so that could be a factor to why maybe was on the back foot. We're probably having to size them up a little bit more than we probably would usually do if Gav was in there, Arthur's in his natural position. We've got 40 coming in there, so we had no Fazza, no crackers. So there's a lot of changes in there. So I'd say that could be a contributing factor, but I think sometimes we do ask him, you're up against a good side, they're sort of top 6, top 7. You've got to see what they're all about. You can go gung-ho and find yourself 2-0 down in the same 20-minute period you're talking about, or you can get to 20 minutes, be 0-0. We on the side then see what we need to do or where the weaknesses are, the areas that we need to strengthen, and then we slowly get the message out and then grow and dominate into the game, as Gaz rightly said. So I think it's probably, it's twofold. We're never going to go gung-ho in the first minute. It's nice to get goals, but we give them clear messages to make sure they're staying in the game. Two midfielders had to probably be a bit more disciplined than they usually want to be, and maybe that's a reason. So but like I said, good team performance. We're happy that they took on every message, even if it meant they had to start slow and then by the end of the game completely win it convincingly. So I'll take that 10 out of 10, mate.
Nathan, the lads that stepped in today and played out of position and did a job, I thought Arthur done very well today. Bideford, good solid performance, and I suppose from your perspective, a nice clean sheet today.
Yeah, it was important that we tried to keep a clean sheet today, especially after conceding 5 midweek. I think Arth's come in and done very well as a pair with Freights and Ed coming at left back. You've mentioned Fordy, who's done a good sitting role for us. But what importantly they've done is answered questions. We know if we have a problem, that we know we've got lads as a squad that we try and develop, that they can fill the holes that are created. Gav's created an opportunity for us today and he's taken it. And very pleasing to get a clean sheet against a very good Bideford side.
I felt we took advantage of our wings today and we seemed to spread the play a little bit quicker than we have done recently, and I think that took the pressure out of the game for us. What do you make of that?
Yeah, more often than not they were narrow free, so obviously we've looked at that. We've spoken to lads, the full-backs, and the two wide men for us are our out balls, so it's important that when we've got the ball we retain it and get it to the wide boys as quick as possible, and I think that's what probably hurt them and got us a lot of joy. Then JD starts running off their centre midfielder and getting into the box and posing problems for him, and then it brings the two front men into the play, and Shane's been there, got his goals through that kind of play. So as Z said earlier, you have to sometimes suss his team out, let the game open up to see where we're going to exploit him. Obviously on paper, as a narrow free, we knew it was going to be the wide boys that would get the joy, but you have to wait for that to develop before you go chasing it.
Yeah, it's been a tough few weeks, hasn't it? We've done a lot of miles on the road these past sort of 3-4 weeks, and Gary, you mentioned it in your programme notes that you've never seen a run of such long away trips before. How do you think we've come through that overall?
Overall, we've come through it very well. We've only lost 1 out of 5. I mentioned in the notes that to have to go 4 or 5 hour coach trips, maybe week in, week out, does take its toll as it stacks up. So I'm pleased to see that behind us now. We've got no more nightmare midweek trips or anything like that. But more importantly, we're just focusing on games that we can look to continue our run and finish strong going into the cup finals and the remaining league games.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. We've played the first leg of the cup final at Tiverton. It was 0-0. What sort of a side are they?
They're a good side. They're a side that, that when we went over there, I think they'd gone 3, maybe 4 games without conceding a goal. They never conceded against us, although I felt that they were fortunate not to. So, we've got a lot of work to do here Tuesday week in that final.
Zema, how do you think we're going to go in that final? It's a big game, isn't it? Tuesday night, chance to get some silverware.
Yeah, with the scoreline, it is a cup final. I know, it's 0-0, so it's all to play for. As Gaz said, you know, they're a big, strong side. They'd gone on I think it was a crazy run. I think they've only lost like 2 in about 40 games or 1 in 19. So they were on a similar run in terms of in a short term that we were going into. So that even though they're league below, you know, they've got good non-league pedigree. I remember playing against teams like Tiverton in this level, you know, maybe 3 or 4 seasons ago. So they're a good side, you know. Big, strong front men, you know, good in midfield. They've worked very hard off the ball to, you know, get their shape back in. And as Gazzy rightly said, I thought we were unfortunate. You know, it was a dogged performance for us for so far, how far we had to travel. But their keeper has kept them in the tie in the respect that, you know, we could have come away maybe 2-0, being strong, being disciplined, and sort of, you know, getting a 2-goal advantage coming into the home game. It wasn't to be because the keeper on the night for them was outstanding. But it's 0-0, and for me it's all to play for, and I think it'll feel more like a cup final than if we were here with a 2-0. So it's over to the lads now. You know, we're giving them messages, like they know what's coming up to them. So, and we'll do our best to make sure we're prepared in the right way, because, you know, like anything, we're in a final, we want to win it. So
it's great stuff, because casting our minds back to the autumn, I don't think the fans could have dreamt of having a cup final and a good run in, perhaps aiming for a mid-table finish. It was that seemed like a bit of a pipe dream, but it's all a reality now, so it's stuff to look forward to. Right, I have to move on to you, Shane Tolley. Welcome back to St Neots Town TV, and the fact that I think the last time I spoke to you on camera, I was using a little handheld camera or something, and we've come on a long way, and your goal scoring, yeah, we're all branded up. Your goal scoring has certainly continued where you left off. You're 16 goals in 8 games at the moment, and you've scored 92 goals for the club so far.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, I'm buzzing every time I score a goal. You know, it's a great feeling. But I think if you trust the players around you, you know that if I just make the box every single time, sometimes it won't come. But if I make it every time, then I know that, you know, the quality that we've got, you know, the ball will come. And if you probably combine my yardage, it's not too great. But that's what the lads do. They just put the ball in there, and I kind of reap the rewards, if you like. So
yeah, you're definitely a sort of penalty box sort of live wire in that 6-yard box. How do you find Matty Nolan to play with as a strike partner? Yeah,
quality. Both Matty and Si, like you know exactly what you're going to get. They're big lads. They hold the ball up, and obviously what they do, it might not be noticed as much because they're not getting the goals, but it then allows me to get in the box and kind of, you know, get those tap-ins. So I mean, they work so hard, and you know, they both need so much kind of praise, and as everyone does. So
when you see these free kicks and crosses coming in, what's going through your mind? Are you trying to nail the keeper and just look for a loose ball, or is it just like a natural?
Just praying it hits the bar and comes back to me. Obviously I want it to go in, but you know, if it goes straight in buzzing, if it comes down to me, then I'll be there to tap it in. So I think you just always got to expect it. So, you know, the keeper could have tapped that over the bar and nobody would have noticed that I was a couple of yards out, but he didn't, and we get a goal from it. So yeah, that was a great second goal today. That sort of little flick on header, and it's just lobbed the keeper. He's left footed on his line, and that's it. I don't think anybody was expecting it, and then all of a sudden you pop up. It's terrific, really good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, again, I think Noel's, to be fair, done his part there. He held kind of the 2 big lads off, and I kind of went up kind of thinking I was going to get a whack, to be fair, and obviously there's nobody there, so I was buzzing. But again, Noel's held them off and let me kind of get in there. So
Zema, you're a striker. What do you make of Shane Tolley? What impact has he had on the side since he's come back?
He's been a different class. So we were saying it in there when you called him in. What he is, you know, off the park, and the character that he is just lends himself to just be the likeable character that he is. So it's not me blowing smoke up his behind, but I think it does help. You know, he's a likeable character. If we decide not to play him for different reasons, tactical, there's no dummy getting thrown out. So you just know you've got somebody that is 100% committed to the cause of St Neots, and I think you cannot buy that. And I think that is why, you know, a man like Shane will reap his rewards. The one thing he hasn't said to you there, which I think is, as a manager, as a coach, you cannot coach, is players scoring goals in the 6-yard box. The one thing he does, he stays on the move in the box. I'm a forward, and I would never score the goals that he scores, because when crosses came in, I was on my heels. Once the ball bounced out, I was on my heels. I couldn't explode onto my front foot. The one thing he does, he's on his toes, he's a live wire, he's ready for, you know, anticipating where the next one is. So I'd say he's probably doing himself an injustice to say, no, it's hitting a crossbar and it's falling out. He is staying on the move every single time. So anything drops, there's only going to be one man poking that ball in the net, and that is it. That is going to be Shane, and that isn't by chance. That isn't by chance. That is a sign of a very, very good goal scorer, and his record proves that.
Nathan, so we've got no midweek games, 2 training sessions, and then a very tough match against Chesham on Saturday. How are we looking going into this match?
I think they're all tough. There's no easy game in this league, regardless of anyone's league position. Chesham are, vying for second spot, let alone a playoff spot. They're still trying to win it and almost cement their playoff spot. I think we'll go down there, we'll give them the respect that they deserve for their position. We'll do our homework as we always do through the midweek. We'll set the lads up in training, gear them up for what to expect, and we'll go down and give our all like we always do. I think it's easier playing against good sides and respect that you don't have to get the lads up for it. They know what's coming, they're ready for a fight, and it's a good chance for us to go and put our wits up, a top 2, a top 1 side, and see can they cope with us. Same with Bideford, as he said earlier, they're top 6, top 7 side, and they've come away with nothing because obviously as 11 v 11 we were better on the day, and we'll try and do that next week.
Excellent. Cheers, lads. Well done.
Thank you.